Good morning. On this late October morning, we have had wind and rain for the last 4 days with occasional breaks in between, and now you can see blue skies and the sun is shining, so I'm very happy to be out again. What I discovered coming out, and this was actually before all the rain started, that the gardeners had been cutting back next door that stumpy tree, which is actually a really nice fig tree, and a lot had fallen here, so I just stuck this in the ground to put it out of the way, and it started sprouting there. So I'm going to leave it alone. Even got some baby figs on it, which I suppose I should pull off really. It doesn't put energy into growing those, but you never know, I might get a free fig tree out of it. I'm all one for free plants. I've taken the cover off these peas. I tasted them. They have no sweetness in them now because they're not getting the sun, so they're just ground cover. Stop the cat coming on and using this as a cat litter tray, so I'm leaving them to it. I pulled up 5 potato plants from here recently because they'd all died back. There's another one in there lurking somewhere, but I can't find it, so I'll probably get a happy surprise in the spring when it starts sprouting. But really delicious potatoes, the best really since early spring, well, late spring, early summer, because it's been so dry and arid. My potato harvest this year has been a complete disaster. This morning I've been, well, I think over the last few weeks I've been filling up these tubs with spent compost and leaves and all sorts of things. So this morning I've been putting cardboard down and sticks to weight them down, and now I'm going to leave it all to mature over the winter. And then in the spring I'll put on some chicken shit and some bloodfish and bone meal, and that will be my pongo bed. Nice and high, easy to reach, and probably much better design than those creatures there. Although they have given loads and loads and loads of beans, and you can see these are fattening up now and maturing to make seeds. So nothing to complain about. In fact, the pongo beans have been very, very good to me this summer. This is a present I got from a friend of mine who has a humongous garden and a grapevine that was getting in the way, and that bit there had taken root, so she potted it up for me and brought it over the other day. So I've just planted that in, and the aim is to grow it all along the wall up there, because it catches the sun and it catches the warmth, and hopefully we'll have some grapes in the summer. Nothing ventured, nothing tried, nothing gained, etc. So I still haven't got round to pulling up my Swedes or the last of the carrots to make carrot and Swede mash, but I will. Just been a bit busy. So this is my chaos of a green manure bed, but I don't care because it's pretty and it's covering the ground, and while there are roots in it, there is life in it, so I'm leaving it be. This bed was the tomato bed, and I've managed to purloin, well, it wasn't really purloin, it was make good use of. There was some little miniature fir trees in wooden half tubs, and they'd all died off in the summer, so the plants were got rid of and the spent compost was just sitting there in the tub, so now it's being mulch for this bed. Woohoo! Still got some beetroot. That's only going to last another couple of weeks. I'm going to pull some up to have with a roast at tea time tonight. I've uncovered the onions. I think think they're probably a bit early, but let's hope they survive the winter. It is very sheltered up here, and that little leaf-coloured bed down there is where my garlic is. We don't need masses. I put in more than I put in last year because we need more than I put in last year, but I'm gauging it because I've got less space. I have to work out what I can put in, what I can fit, and how much of it I can grow. Would you believe we're still getting broccoli sprouts from here? Not that many now, and I'm of two minds whether just to leave it over winter or to cut it down to stumps. Not sure. The purple sprouting is nearly as tall as I am. It did have the menace of whitefly in the middle, but I squished a lot, and I think the weather's been so inclement that they've not really come back with any vigour, so I think we're all right. We're past the worst of the whitefly. I picked a cabbage the other day. It was from a present of a packet of seeds from Ali from my rusty garden, and it was really tasty, so I'm very pleased with that. See, something's been eating this one. You know, we have to share with nature, don't we? I need to hoe this over because this is homemade compost, so there's loads of seeds in it. But as long as I keep hoeing it, it won't get out of hand. The nasturtiums are doing very well, and the calendula very easily gets out of hand. And the other thing I've been doing is, because the blueberry bushes weren't magnificent, I've moved this one because it wasn't happy down the slope, so I swapped it with the vine. I don't think it was acidic enough in soil, so I put a whole load of ericaceous compost underneath it and round it and on top of it. So, and this one is healthier, but I think it needed a companion, so I planted them closer together in the hopes that next year we'll get a decent harvest. It's my first year of growing with them, and it's about living and learning, isn't it, really? So the autumn garden is ticking along nicely. There's loads to do. You won't believe how many leaves I've got. So I've got 4 bags at the bottom of the slope down there, hidden away. Isn't that Mahonia? Absolutely glorious. You can see that from our dining room window. It's beautiful. So I've got 4 bags of leaves down there, and I've got 2 full bags. Well, I've got a full bag here of semi-rotted, which I'll top up and then put cardboard on top of that, and then this bag I'll just keep filling up. Quite a big bag, as you can see. And then this is the compost bag. So, and there are still lots of leaves to fall, so I'm leaving lots on the ground, and it's really the ones that fall on our car park and around the smoking area that I'm mopping up, because they'd otherwise get thrown away in the landfill, so they're much better for me to use as compost. And the rest I leave on the ground for creatures to live in. And you see I have a little bucket here that I'm going to put round these 2 shrubs now. Shrubs, blueberry bushes, just to help them with their overwintering process. But it's a beautiful day. Look at that blue sky. Isn't that lovely? So I'm making the most of it, because the rest of the time it is wet and windy and cold. I hope you're enjoying your autumns. Cheerio for now.